Did anyone have a sleepless night here? I'm a little bit jet lagged, so I don't know if I'm awake or I'm asleep. Do you know what jet lag is? Okay, so it's sort of your internal clock is all messed up, and that's where I am right now. So I feel like I'm dreaming, but it's a good dream. It's a good dream. I'm gonna sing a song, which is a song I wrote with quite a famous European pop star. Her name is Ira Losko, and Ira sang in the Eurovision a few times. Have you heard of the Eurovision? Okay. And we got together and we wrote this song. We actually signed with the same label in Europe, and one of the things that we wanted to convey, the message we wanted to convey, was that sometimes we're a little bit messed up. How many of us know that we're not perfect? But there's a scripture verse which says, "Be perfect as my heavenly Father is perfect." But that's so hard. That's so difficult to be perfect. Even me as a priest, people think that I'm perfect, but just look at my Instagram and you'll see that I have a lot of gym selfies. I'm not perfect. Still full of myself. Need to get rid of a lot of stuff to point to Jesus. Amen? And this song says that even though we're in millions of pieces, even though we don't have it all together, when we surrender these pieces to love, they become a beautiful work of art. Okay? Now there's a part of the verse which is really high for me, and it goes something like this, and I want you to sing this with me, okay? So it goes like this. Can I hear you? 3, 4. In the shadows, picking up the pieces of a broken heart. She's trying to find a way back to the light. This is not what she imagined. What the vision changed the direction. Trying to find a way to make it right. And there's a million people with a broken heart, and everyone is looking for change. There's a billion pieces make a work of art when we surrender to love. Here we go. In a room, too many people. He's surrounded and yet he's so alone. No one could ever know. He is smiling, he is hiding all the pain and hurt inside of him. His fire dies a little every day, and there's a million people with a broken heart, and everyone is looking for change. There's a billion pieces make a work of art when we surrender to love, make the change. We all fall, every single one by one, just like we're dominoes. We all fall, wonder, have to find our home, and then we fight them all. We surrender, we surrender, we surrender unto the love. We surrender love. We surrender, we surrender, we surrender unto the love. We surrender love. There's a million people with a broken heart, and everyone is looking for change. There's a billion pieces make a work of art. When we surrender to love, make the change. I love. There was a time, some time ago, I had. Well, as soon as I became a priest, I got to buy a small car. You know, I need to travel around. In fact, I drive around. My diocese is about 4.5 hours drive at about 70 miles per hour. It's quite a big diocese, and I'm also the director of youth in our diocese, and so I needed a good car, but I wanted a small car. The reason why I wanted a small car was because I had a simple budget. You know, I had a small budget to buy a car, so I chose to buy a small car, but I pimped it up with a 10.1 surround system. So, like, you could hear Father Rob coming from a mile away. Like the young people would hear me driving from miles away. And one of the things that I had was I lived with a parish priest, and he was a Monsignor. He was an awesome guy, but he was very posh, you know. He was very, you know. And so people would drive. I would walk around with him across the town, and he would wave to people, you know, and everyone, hi, Monsignor, Monsignor, and everyone would be so happy to see Monsignor. But for some reason, he never wanted to come for a ride in my car. And so one day, his car wouldn't start, and so I had to give him a ride to a parishioner's place. And I thought, wow, this is a great opportunity. So we're driving, and as we're driving by, we stop at a cross light again. And as we stop at the cross light, all of a sudden, people are recognizing Monsignor, and they're waving to Monsignor. And Monsignor rolls down the window and starts waving, and I thought, this is my opportunity. And so I cranked up the volume and real loud, and the first song I had was like this this song which the whole car started jumping, and Monsignor started falling down with every beat and started to hide. And then one of the conversations that we had, Monsignor and I had after, was that sometimes we do, as I said yesterday, tend to take ourselves too seriously. And this is a very, very dangerous thing if we take ourselves too seriously. You see, we have to humility is also understanding that sometimes things don't go our way. But I want to sing the song that played when Monsignor was there. So feel free to sing, feel free to dance, feel free to stand, feel free to sleep, do whatever you want. I know some of you are tired, but sing along with me. I throw my hands up in the air sometimes, saying, yeah, gotta let go. I come to celebrate and live my life, saying, yeah, gotta let go. I came to dance, 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 dance. I hit the floor cause that's my plans. I'm wearing all my favorite brands. Give me the space for both my hands. Yeah, and it goes on and on and on. And it goes on and on and on. Yeah, I throw my hands up in the air sometimes, saying, oh, gotta let go. I come to celebrate and live my life, saying, oh, gotta let go. Cause we gon' rock this club, we gonna go all night, we gon' light it up like it's dynamite. Cause I told you once, now I told you twice, we gon' light it up like it's dynamite. I came to move. Get out the way of me and my groove. I'm in the hooks, I'm gonna do. Just what another came here to do. Yeah, and it goes. Oh yeah, and it goes on and on and on. Yeah, I throw my hands up in we gon' light it up like it's dynamite. I'm gonna take it all. I'm gonna be the last one standing, 'cause I am overall. I'm gonna be the last one landing, 'cause I believe it, 'cause I just want it all. I just want it all. I'm gonna put my hands in the air. Put your hands in the air. Put your hands in the air. Yeah, 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 yeah. I throw my hands up in the air sometimes, saying, hey, oh, gotta let go. I come to celebrate and live my life, saying, hey, oh, gotta let go. 'Cause we gonna, oh, we gonna light it up like it's dynamite. 'Cause I told you once, now I told you twice. We gon' light it up like it's dynamite. Okay, guys. Somehow, I wish we could have a party, but I have a talk to deliver. So if you just head back to your seats, and we'll have a little bit of a party. I'll try and finish a few minutes earlier. 'Cause we gon' like it's dynamite. 'Cause we gon' light it up like it's dynamite. Hey, I'm wondering if I could have the PowerPoint on, if that's possible. How many of you know this song? I'm not gonna whip. Okay, just talk to the person next to you. Hold on a second. Just talk to the person next to you and tell them, stop taking yourself so seriously. We tend. Let's get it! We tend to take ourselves too seriously. And this, could stop us from the greatness that God has called us to. Each and every one of us are called to greatness. We're called to be saints. To be a saint is your primary vocation. You see all of these saints and you've heard them being talked about and their lives being explained. But the thing is, you guys are saints in the making. You should be saints in the making. But how many of you, as I asked at the beginning, how many of you feel that you're so far away that it's almost impossible for you to be a saint? Now, I would say this, I'd lift for my second foot as well, but the thing is, it is really difficult to be a saint. But the reality is, this is our primary vocation. This is what we're called. And we see these saints, and their lives seem to be so extraordinary. Everything is extraordinary. You just think about all of these saints, and you see them in posters, and you see them lit up, and you see them in statues with their hands like this, and their heads like this, and like candles in front of them, and sometimes things being thrown and stuck on them, and they look gold and all ornate and extraordinary. Take, for example, someone like Mother Teresa, whose life seemed so extraordinary. She was an amazing saint, a living saint. John Paul II, another great saint who lived among us. They had extraordinary, he was a pope. Like, their lives were extraordinary. But the reality is, In order to be extraordinary, to live an extraordinary life, we need to be able to face the ordinary. You see, but the thing is, it's sometimes so hard. Even I'll tell you an extraordinary saint. Have you heard, as I asked yesterday as well, this guy, Saint Paul. Saint Paul, he was one of the most extraordinary saints, the greatest saints that ever lived. He was an evangelist. He changed the world. He wrote almost half the Bible. And he was an incredible, absolutely incredible man. And yet he says this. He says this in Romans. He says this. He says, I do not understand what I do. For what I want to do, I do not do. But what I hate, I do. Do you understand that? Just read that again. I do not understand what I do. For what I want to do, I do not do. And what I know I should be doing, and what I know I should not be doing, what I hate, I do. Again, how many of you ever could understand that? Like in your own lives. That we want to do the right thing, but we find it difficult. You see, we're called to fight a battle, a spiritual battle. Each and every one of us are warriors that we called, there's a battle going on in the spiritual realm for our soul, for our sanctity, you know? And heaven exists, hell exists. And I'd hate to disappoint you on that. I wish I could say that hell is empty, but it is not empty. And the thing is, we need to strive to fight this battle, to be the champions, to be the saints, so that, like St. Paul, we could make it to heaven. But he was so ordinary. He struggled so much. I struggle a lot. You know, one of the things I try to do is I try to stay away from sugar. I exercise a lot, okay? So I train, and one of the things that I do on Sunday is that I celebrate Mass, and after Mass I have some free time in the afternoon. And that's the time when every parishioner thinks, oh, Father's busy, it's Sunday, and it's my freest day. And it's like a day where I start to prepare my food. I get my food and I prepare it. And I prepare for the whole week, okay? So it's high protein food and low carbohydrates. And it's difficult. Anyone heard of the keto diet? Okay, I'm on the keto diet. That's what I try to stay on, even when I'm traveling. And it's really hard. But one of the things that I do is I prepare my meals. And then throughout the week, Monday, I eat the meals I prepare. I eat 4 to 8 meals a day. That's crazy. So I eat, it's like most of my time I'm eating. And I prepare my meals ready to go. And Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday, I prepare again. I really do try. I do try to keep to my diet. But you know, sometimes it's difficult. Especially living in a rectory. I live in a rectory with 2 other priests. One priest is the vicar general, he's a big boss. So a lot of people love him, a lot of people give him gifts. And the second priest is like, he's just turned 91. And so people turn up with bottles of wine for them, turn up with food for them. The worst thing that they turn up with is dessert, sweets. And this is what happened to me recently, okay? I was there and I was eating I had prepared my meal on Sunday. And as I prepared my meal on the Sunday, I was ready to be disciplined throughout the week. So Monday, I'm eating my salad, I'm eating my tuna, and I'm eating my salmon, and everything's fine, everything's going well. Tuesday, the same, everything's good, but this is when it all starts to mess up. Wednesday is when someone drops a cake off and puts it in our fridge right next to my food. And I open the fridge and there she is, cakey. And I look in and I just grab my salad. You know, I grab my salad, but in the corner of my eye, there she is, cakey. And I open, and she's one of those like shiny cakes, you know, like one of those. It looks so amazing, and that's my weakness. You know, my weakness is chocolate. And outside it looks so shiny, but inside, who knows what that was like. I wanted a piece of cakey, but I tried to keep to my diet. So I looked at, I got my salad and I started eating my salad, but while I was being good, I was thinking about what? I was thinking about cakey. And as I'm eating my salad started to taste like chocolate. And I'm eating and I'm thinking, no, I'm going to stick to my diet. I don't want to give in to cake because I know I'm going to pay the price for it later. And so I'm eating my salad and I'm continuing to eat it. And then I'm full, so I put my salad away. I put the salad away and I close put the fridge, and there she is again, cakey. And so I put the salad away, and I close the fridge, and I'm just looking at cakey. And as I close the fridge, and I'm thinking, I wonder what's inside of her, you know? What's beneath that layer? What is there inside, you know? Is it double chocolate? Is it death by chocolate? Is it mud cake? Is it even, I don't know, it could be vanilla for all I know. I didn't know what it was, but I wanted to know so badly. And so I walked away. I said, no, in Jesus' name, I'm walking away. And I walked away, but all I could think about is cakey. And so 10 minutes later, I go back to the fridge to see if Keiki is still there. And she is. She's still there. And there's no slice taken, so I'm still curious about what's inside of Keiki. And so I go to the fridge, and I open the fridge, I look at it, and I grab Keiki. And I hold Keiki. And I put her down. And she looks good, she looks even better when you go by, and I touch Keiki. And soft, nice. And I get the knife, and I cut Keiki. And I got a slice of Keiki. And when I got the slice, I realized, what have I done, you know? The slice is too big. So what I do is I leave that slice there, I cut a smaller slice. I said, listen, I've been so good with my diet lately, so I might as well have a small slice. What's the harm in that, right? Yeah, and so I took a slice of Keiki and I put it on the plate, and I had Keiki, and she was so good. It was delicious. It was amazing. And it was like multiple chocolate. It was incredible. And I'm having this chocolate cake, and I'm thinking, man, I want more. I want more. And I'm thinking, well, once I've messed up, I might as well mess up well, you know? If you're gonna sin well. And so I got another slice, and I had a bit more. How many of you know what I'm talking about here? How many of you know what I'm talking about? You see, this is the power of temptation, isn't it? And then when I kept on having a slice and a slice and a slice, until the only slice left was the slice I cut initially. And I felt so bad. You see, I didn't eat Wednesday's food that I had prepared. I didn't eat Thursday's food. I didn't even eat Friday's food, and the thing is, I didn't even go to the gym either. I'm thinking, no, I can't. I've messed up too bad. You know, I feel horrible. I have no energy. What am I going to do? And the thing is, I really tried to get out of this, but it started to bring me down. And I thought, no, I'm not going to do this. And then what happened was, on the Friday, my friend from my gym buddy noticed that I wasn't at the gym by Friday, and so he calls me and he says, Rob, you're not at the gym, what's going on? And I said, nah, look, I've really had a bad cheat, and I'm not ready to go back to the gym. And then he drives over to my place and he says, come on, I'll pick you up. And so he picked me up and he dragged me to the gym, and I started again. Saturday, I started on my salad again. And then Sunday, I prepared my meals, and I continued going. Now, what am I saying with this? You see, a lot of things I'm saying with this. This is the power of temptation. You see, temptation is inevitable. It's going to be all around us, whether we like it or not, whether you are holy or a saint, whether people, your friends around you, think you to be a sort of a saint in the making or not. We all are tempted by Keiki, amen? Amen. And so we need a few things to get out of it. One is to recognize that we do eat cake. We all do sin. We all do mess up. Two, we need to recognize that it is not the end of the world. We can get back up again. Amen? And the thing is, we need to get back up again. And sometimes we don't have the strength to get back up again by our own strength. We need other people around us. And this is why we need people around us, like my friend who called me and said, Rob, come back to the gym. Come back to the place where you can be encouraged, the place where you can be strengthened, the place where there are people who have the same vision as you for fitness, for strength, for health. And that when you're surrounded by those people, you are motivated again. You see, and then these are the things that we need. We need, when temptation comes our way, we need people around us who hold us accountable. We need people around us who take us back to the community, back to the church, where we can find strength again. And we need to find people around us who don't judge us, but recognize that they too occasionally give in to cakey. Does that make sense? Yes, we all do. And the thing is, even St. Paul, you see, this is what he says there. And St. Paul is basically talking about his temptation with cakey. Okay, it's the same thing. I do not understand what I do. For what I don't want to eat cakey, but I want to eat my salads, but I don't. What I hate is cakey. Like I like cakey while I'm eating cakey, but after cakey I don't like cakey. But what I hate I do. And this is the reality of a saint named Paul. How incredible is that? If there is an extraordinary saint like that who can give in to temptation like that, and today we know him to be one of the greatest saints that ever lived, there is hope for me and there's hope for you. Do you agree? There is hope for us because we're all messed up. We all give in. And the thing is, you are not your mess. You are not your sin. Even though you sin, the difference between a saint and a sinner, the difference between a loser and a champion is both eat cakey. Both fall to the floor. But the saint and the champion gets back up again. Does that make sense? And you are saints. You are champions. You are called to be saints. So the thing is, if you have fallen, and sometimes some of you here might feel that you're too far gone and that what you've done is too bad, well, that's crap. That's rubbish. That makes no sense, you see, because God's arms are long enough to reach you wherever you are. And we need to know this is not only St. Paul, but there are so many other saints that did this as well. I'm going to ask you a question. One of the things that I love to do is read my Bible. How many of you have a Bible? Not school Bible, but like have a Bible that you actually read out of school. Okay, hands went down there, right there. Okay, yeah, so the thing is, I love to read my Bible. You see, the Bible is something so powerful, and it's so alive, but the thing is, we don't understand a lot of it. Now, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to give you, if you'd allow me, I know this is going to be a bit intense, but I want to give you a bit of a Bible study. Have you ever had a Bible study? Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of a Bible study because I want you to understand the Word of God, because the Word of God gives us strength, okay, to fight cakey. Okay, it gives us the strength and the power. But before we do that, I want to sing this song which talks about a verse in the Bible. Have you heard of Jeremiah? Everybody say Jeremiah. Jeremiah 29:11 says that God has an amazing plan for our lives. But the thing is, because of sometimes we don't believe that we can achieve these things. And because we believe what Keiki tells us, not what God tells us, we don't realize that we are created for greatness. I got to be on a television show on the X Factor a couple of years ago, and it was an amazing experience. I was there, I got onto the show, I auditioned, and I got 4 yeses from the judges, and then after I got 4 yeses from the judges, I got onto boot camp, and after boot camp, I started to realize, man, this is not for me. Now, the reason why I auditioned, I'll be honest with you, is that they asked me to audition. You think it's all like reality, it is a bit, but not a lot. And I go and I did audition. And I didn't want to audition initially. So I got asked 4 years in a row to audition for the X Factor. And for the X Factor and The Voice, even CBS here in America asked me to audition. And I kept saying no, because this is not what I want to do. I don't want to be a pop star. I don't want to be known as a singer. You know what the most important thing in my life is? My relationship with Jesus. That is the most important thing in my life. And I'll surprise you, maybe some of you, the most important thing is the first thing that I am is a friend, is a son, is a child of Jesus. That's the most important thing. Far after that is the fact that I'm a priest, okay? I get to serve Jesus, the one I love, as a priest. And that's awesome, that's amazing. But the most important thing in my life is that I'm a child of God. Okay, that's the second thing. And after that, I use music and I use talking and everything else because I want other people to love Jesus and recognize the love of Jesus, just as I have recognized the love of Jesus. And that's the plan that God has for us. And so on the audition for the X Factor, I decided I wanted to sing this song. After boot camp, I stood in front of the judges and I said, hey guys, I thank you for this opportunity, but I'm going to leave the show. And the reality is sometimes the hardest decisions we have to make is not necessarily between good and bad, but the hardest decisions we have to make often in life are between what is good and what is best. And those are so hard, so difficult. And God wants what is best for us, as He says in Jeremiah 29:11. There was a time I used to look into my Father's eyes. In a happy home, I was a king, I had a gold throne. Those days are gone, the memories on the wall. I still hear the song of places where I was born.